You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.
Hi all, and welcome to the Real Estate Labs with Bayut.com. My name is Chris Crawford, and today's guest is the CEO of Skyview Real Estate, Mr. Akash Kanjwani. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing the off-plan market and whether our guest sees opportunity or uncertainty. But first, Akash, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for having me. And I think it's really long time. I've been seeing your podcast. You're doing some great podcasts. I think it's very insightful. So let's see what we can get today.
How have you navigated through the last few months?
Well, to be very frank, we had to first sit down, look at what should be our focus in case of if this is getting dragged on. We have been mostly off-plan agency. And that shift happened in the last couple of years. I mean, earlier it was very balanced. We were doing 50-50, both of them, secondary and primary. Obviously, we had to find our niche, and that was primary, which we were trying to sell to a lot of investors. They were making good returns on them. But when this happened, it gave us a good chance to sit down and evaluate the whole setup, how the company is functioning, which developers we are working on. And most importantly, what we wanted to see is how agents can be, motivated to still keep meeting the clients. Because, when you're uncertain, when you don't know what's happening, you're going to portray the same to your clients. So you need to be clear. So we had to bring down what happened in the previous crisis, how Dubai came out of it. We literally had to give them the records, like the 2008 crisis, the crisis when COVID happened, and pre-COVID, there was similar regional I'll not say tensions, but yes, there was some kind of issues that we were facing regionally. So we had to sit down with the team, make sure the team is aware. And that's what was the biggest change that we did. If your team understands, your agents understand the market, they understand the uncertainty, they will portray the clear picture to the clients. And that, I think, was the most important thing.
So you being predominantly a sort of primary machine or real estate agency as such, have you had to sort of change your focus? Have you had to sort of diversify what sort of stock that you have available?
Well, to be very frank, we actually always had a good relationship with investors. So they had a stock of secondary. It was only that we were not focusing in a way. And so what we did is we started calling all our previous investors, and somehow they were asking for the support in secondary. We were not paying attention. So some of our agents started calling their old investors and then asking them whether, this is the right time that they would like to cash out, because the amount of profit that people have made in the last 5 years, it's almost 200 to 300%. So, if a person the biggest surprise came, it is still very difficult to get listing from secondary market today. People are not willing to sell. They are not willing to budge below their asking price. You will not see many distressed deals. You will not see many people who are actually breaking the market. And there are communities which are actually appreciating, like for example, Palm Jebel Ali, which was very surprising to us as well. When we were doing transactions in Palm Jebel Ali, there were sellers who were asking and there were buyers which were willing to pay, and it is secondary off plan. It's not ready. So it was very surprising to us, and there are transactions. What we have done, it's for people to see. From Skyview point of view, we wanted to just make sure that we are a bit more fragile. It's not like we're dependent on one segment right now. And we were focusing on major developers, but some of the best deal came from new developers during this time. I mean, you must have heard there are some good launches which have happened by Imtiaz, by Alif, by even in Abu Dhabi. That actually change the perspective that, we shouldn't be only looking at few developers. We should be looking at project on the value, which we already did. But then now we have to look for other developers which have to bring in a value product. Today, you cannot launch anything and expect it to sell. It's not going to happen. You have to give good payment plans. You have to give good value. You have to give good location. And the people who are buying today, I think the next wave of appreciation will be with them, because the new launches are literally make so much sense to buy. Especially there are some commercial properties, there are properties on the waterfront, which I don't think so was ever available during the Jan-Feb period. No developer was even talking about launching them.
Where is the market right now?
Market right now is at a much more mature level. They are looking for really good deals. And it's all across the board, whether you're talking about primary, whether you're looking at secondary, whether you're looking at rentals. All across the board, people are having options, which was missing in February. Obviously, the transactions value have come down. The number of transactions have come down. That's why the overall impact is there. But I think it is picking up. There is, again, a few regional uncertainty. And I don't blame the people who are delaying their decisions, but there are people which are actually taking advantage of this and coming forward. The biggest advantage is the leadership. They understand the growth, and people are not valuing. I think that is the biggest factor that it's going to navigate. So if you look at the current situation as well, the first thing that Dubai did is started spending more money on infrastructure. We know Al Maktoum Airport is coming, but then you had the Blue Line Metro. Immediately your Gold Line metro line was announced. Then you have your new road which is connecting Sheikh Zayed Road, Al Khail, Emirates. You don't know what difference will that make to the communities around which are going to get connected. You have Dubai Hills, you have District 1, you have Maidan, and you have all the way till acres and multiple developers. This changes a lot of things. I mean, imagine, Chris, we value our where do you stay based on the traffic and based how long will it take, and our schools for our kids. Now, with this kind of infrastructure spending, you're talking about Dubai giving much more comfort to people.
Yeah, interesting. So let's talk about the pipeline of launches. How is that looking, and is there anything in particular that you're really excited about?
So I think what I'm really excited is Motor City commercial offices, because Dubai actually is a lack of commercial space everywhere.
Absolutely.
I mean, you ask any business owner, the biggest challenge that we're facing is finding the right office space or the right retail. And this has been biggest problem. So when Motor City announced one by Avenue and Cora, it's a great project to have. Then you have Imtiaz, which I already mentioned. Abu Dhabi is doing something very great. And I think...
What's happening there?
Well, I'm very surprised. The way they announced the projects, I'm not talking about the residential or, projects by the developer, but it's the infrastructure projects. So you're talking about Disneyland.
Yeah.
That itself will bring in not less than 3 to 4 million people who just want to visit Disneyland itself. Then you have the Sprio, which is announced, and I think Yas Island will be one destination where people will just come for 4-5 days and still not be able to cover everything. It's a great place to have. They have the museums, they have obviously the parks. So I think it's more family oriented travel destination that's going to be Abu Dhabi. And then obviously Ras Al Khaimah is developing on its own. So I think in the long term basis, there is a lot more projects which we'll be looking. But if I look for the next investment that I have to do now, I will definitely select commercial space in Dubai, residential space in Abu Dhabi around Yas. And if I'm looking to really invest in, something a bracket of 10 to 15 million or a villa or townhouse, I'll definitely look at Hudaid Island, because that's one island next to Abu Dhabi, main island itself. And it's impossible to own any property. I mean, for that matter, Abu Dhabi main island is not freehold for everybody. And anything that close with this lovely master plan, I think it's a good value for money, and the payment plan is fantastic. It's just 5%.
So you mentioned about payment plans, right? And how they've changed over recent times. In terms of getting the market back to where it was at, what sort of moves are developers going to have to make in terms of payment plans or offers, or what can they do? What's within their power to try and drive that marketplace back here again?
To be very frank, if you want to drive the market, it's going to take a lot more than a developer offering a payment plan. But if you want to make it interesting, if you want the projects to sell out faster, if you want the buyers to trust you, obviously you have to make sure that you have the best payment plan, which is the minimum from the buyer side, maximum from the developer side. The best payment plan obviously is 2080. A lot of people say 2080 is not the right payment plan. This is where the developer increased the price. Well, you can compare the prices for sure. But if 2080 payment plan, a developer is taking the risk of 80%. He is pumping in all his money into the project. He's only taking 20%, which goes in escrow, still protects you across. And this is, if you're getting a right product at that payment plan, definitely it's the most safest one, and that will change the market. This is what it changed. If the market continues to be uncertain for longer period, a post handover payment plan where people are paying for 5 years, 7 years, that will change. But I don't see the necessity for that right now. The demand is still very strong in the off plan segment. Anything with a 30, 70, 40, 60 can be workable. What people don't want is a large balloon payment at one shot. So people are not ready to pay you 20% upfront, 30% upfront, or then balloon payment. What people want is a standard payment plan, a 5% every 4 months, every 5 months. That works the best because that gives them enough time to get their cash flows right. And once the market comes back, these are the people which will benefit, because imagine if you have paid 20% or 30% down payment and the project is constructing well, even if the appreciation is only by 30% in a year, you have practically doubled your money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's something which is gonna be driving the market, giving the market. Ultimately, the investor who's investing in off plan, he's not doing it as an end user. I think only 1 or 2% of the entire sale happens as an end user, until unless there is a large community which is with villas and townhouses. That is almost 50-50 end users, 50% investors. But when an apartment building or anything else comes up, it's mostly investors which want to pump in the money. You need to give them value, and value is both in terms of price that you're selling and the payment plan. You cannot have one too high and the other too attractive. People understand this. They have done their numbers, they have done their calculations, and they are definitely looking.
Have you noticed any difference in the investors coming to the market? Has there been a change in the sort of dynamic of investors?
Traditionally, Indians are the best buyers. I mean, and what has happened even during this crisis, Indians are still very much interested to buy properties in Dubai. What we have seen, a lot more locals, I'm talking about both Emiratis and expats living in Dubai now coming up and buying because they are more confident, they are more invested in Dubai anyways. So they are trying to take more advantage of it. Internationally, a change has been seen in more US nationals. I think that those people are looking at Dubai in a much more different way now. So we are getting a lot more inquiries from USA, Australia. Europe, I'll say, has taken a bit of a back seat for now. But then I think, UK is always going to be in top 10 no matter what. Dubai looks very interesting segment, and I think it is where we are. It's one of the best position for someone to start planning if you haven't planned. And just the most important thing I think everybody should understand when you're investing in off plan is your cash flow. You cannot be over investing in this time. I always ask my clients to be very careful with their cash flow during the last couple of years as well. Even now, if you have the cash flow, you have the liquidity. 50% liquidity means you're the most comfortable position because banks will be very easily willing to fund your remaining 50%.
Yeah. Okay, let's just touch on what areas do you see that will be emerging as the next off-plan hotspot?
Dubai Islands, number one. I think the villas and townhouses master plan is almost what we see. It's every 2 or 3 months. We hope that they go ahead and launch. That's the best community that you will be looking to invest in. That's the most comfortable community as well, on waterfront with golf courses, beaches surrounding you. But I'm more comfortable investing in villas and townhouses in Dubai Islands. That's very interesting to look. Obviously, we are looking at Dubai South as one of the most comfortable investment because we know the airport is moving in over there. Also, we very well know Javza is one of the areas where maximum number of people Dubai work for. So, and they travel all the way to other areas like JVC, Urjan, Bar Dubai, all the way till Sharjah. So if you have a most secure investment that you want to do it for rental return for future appreciation, I will say Dubai South. And I think a lot of companies are now moving towards that side of the city. So that creates a lot more job opportunities for people to invest in. Only thing is that Dubai South, people think it's only because of the Al Maktoum airport. But if you believe, I mean, your data can confirm it to me, the appreciation, the rental appreciation in Dubai South in last couple of years has been the highest, because the issue was not the demand. The issue was the infrastructure, the availability over there. There were not many developers which were building projects, or the master plan was not comfortable in what there was no schools, there was no supermarkets. With all this thing coming over there, all people have to do is, instead of taking that Sheikh Zayed road, take the Expo road and waiting 2 hours to reach your home. You just have to take 10 minutes to your house.
Absolutely. Look, I think everyone's noticing there's a lot of shift towards that side of the town, right? You've got Palm Jebel Ali, you've got the Alpha Jam, which was very successful and still transacting very, very well, right? And then obviously Dubai South, Emaar South is doing very well as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of interest up there because the price points still relatively decent.
Still relatively very attractive, and again, the rental returns that you see are one of the highest in this. And then prices right now, when your prices in JVC have almost touching 1700-1800 per square feet, when you come up with Dubai South with apartments, when you want to take an entry level apartment, it's still 1200-1300 per square feet. Which is, how can you go wrong in that price entry point? So you're taking a studio somewhere around 550,000 to 600. That's something which you can rent it out no matter what the market condition says.
Well, Akash, thank you very much for coming in today.
Pleasure.
It's good to get the understanding of what's happening in the market from an expert. We know that you're heavily invested in the primary side of the market, so it was very important to get someone like yourself in to discuss this and let our viewers understand what's happening. So thank you very much for people who are tuning in. If you have any questions or you're interested in investing in off-plan, please reach out to Skyview Real Estate. I'm sure Mr. Akash or one of his team members would be very, very happy to support you on your investment journey. And thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate Labs. Bye.
You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.